one thing I noticed is that the PDF was not included, so I can't really zoom in. So a lot of this I'm going to have to kind of just guide you based on what I see and ask you to check on your own some of the things, since I can't really zoom in here and point things out specifically. Let's go ahead and take a look at the composition itself. I think it's smart here to just include Martin Luther King without the actual scale. And we talked about that scale. My concern about this for the scale is that it's just somewhat unharmonious with the actual typeface. So you've got like all these flourishes, embellishments, and curvatures on the scale, but they don't fit in with the typeface. So I was wondering if maybe you could find a different scale that doesn't have all those curvatures and everything. So something that's a little bit more geometric of a scale that could fit in here. At any rate, I think it's a smart idea to use the title on the back of the poster without that scale. I think that's would be overkill on the back of the poster, so that was a good choice. Right now, the type is jammed up. There's no top margin to speak of whatsoever. That's what we call a no print zone. That's just entirely too close to the margin. So you want to give some ample room up there. Social activist, honestly, to me, Martin Luther King was one of the most dynamic and always will be considered maybe the greatest speaker of a public speaker ever. Even he can be compared to and really, really one of the most eloquent speakers of all time, right up there with Clinton, right up there with Obama. I mean, he was just an incredible speaker and an incredible dynamic individual. So social activist, to me, just doesn't do that justice, if that makes sense. Okay. Your type looks great. As I said, I can't really get in there, but I can see a couple of areas of that BD right there. That should be small caps, right? Also, your numbers should be old style numerals. Correct use of dashes for sure. So that should be an N dash as in Nancy right there. And I'll show you a list and give you an idea of exactly what I'll be looking for. But right now you're using justified type, and your justified type settings look pretty darn good. Now, keep in mind that you don't have to indent the first paragraph. My recommendation is not to indent at all. It's a recommendation. It's a personal preference, I should say. I don't indent. I always use a space between. I think it's just, it really establishes gorgeous margins, specifically when you're talking about justified type. So you wouldn't indent the first paragraph because the viewer knows that's the first paragraph, right? You might consider a drop cap. That would be very, very cool right in there. I think we're a little bit text heavy here. This is a poster. It's a bio, so it should be complete, but this might be a little bit too text heavy. At any rate, so let me see. So that kind of confronts us with a situation that since we're going to use, if you elect to use a space between, you wouldn't use a paragraph to delineate an indent to delineate a new paragraph in a following column. But that would be indicated by two things. Number one, that the short line in the preceding paragraph, and the fact that it's at the top. So this is not a new paragraph. Well, actually, is it? Yeah, this is interesting because this appears to be a last line, and this does too. So you are setting your type. I'm going to do a system zoom. You won't see this. Okay, there's your period there. No period here. Okay, so that type, since that's not the end of a paragraph, that type should go to the end of the line, right? That's indicating a new paragraph. This is justified type. That last line, it should be justified, not center line with left line flush left, right? So just think about that. And if that doesn't make sense, let me know. It's a pretty important concept. Your word spacing looks pretty good for justified type, but the third column, there are some unusual spaces. Be sure to take a look at the course announcement. Let me see, where is it? Right here. How to justify paragraphs correctly, right there. Come to think of it now, just want to mention everything from week 3 on. Really, there's a ton of tutorials, all of these videos, week 3 on. Week 1 and 2 is mostly kerning and letting, but week 3 on, all of this stuff is covered in there. And this is the list that I want you to see, because this is what I'm going to be checking. This is available in the Welcome to Week 7 announcement. You can take a look at that. Also, note that all 18 of the rules from our discussion in week 4 are all applicable for grading here in this poster. All right, looking at the work itself, again, I see the timeline. Now, you're using the scale as a timeline, which is not necessarily a bad idea at all. But right now it's black on a brown background, so there's no contrast. It can't be seen, especially at a distance. Remember, this is a poster. Timeline's pushed to the right. Let's go ahead and span that equally at the bottom. I'm not sure about these lines right here, separating lines. I think it's kind of creating boxes, and it's creating a degree of separation that I don't think is necessary here. I think is actually impeding the synergy of the piece. Okay, so, and then these are what we will be looking for. Okay, so make sure that you open, keep these open the list of 18 rules from week 4 and keep that available there when you're working, all right? Not so sure, I'm not too worried about the center alignment. I guess the center alignment is okay. Definitely want to use old style numerals, definitely want to leave small caps though, for sure. Okay, I'll be looking for that. So if the open type menu is not available in this typeface that you have chosen, please adjust small caps and old style numerals accordingly by adjusting the scale. That is covered in the tutorial. I want to see something. I'm doing a system zoom here. You won't be able to see this, but okay. Yeah, it's like that BD right there. That would be small caps. Just an example. All right. At this point, Kasey, I think it's a great start. Very, very good. Again, just keep in mind my concerns about that scale on the front of the poster. I recommended that. Remember the little cups and scale are really tiny to fit in there. To me, that's problematic. So if you have problems or you want help with that, let me know. But I would definitely choose a different shaped scale, something that is more synonymous with the general configuration and the visual attributes of this sans serif typeface. Okay? All right, fantastic. Kasey, any questions, comments, concerns, clarifications? You know the drill, right? I'm a click away. Let me know if I can clarify anything for you. Thank you very much.